Let us begin. Today is the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. We were reading where Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is explaining about samadhi. And we were reading that he is explaining the Sapta Bhumi. That is from the yogic point of view. In the yoga, it says that in the human body there are 7 stages, and there, when the mind reaches over there, slowly it reaches on the top of the head, and the person goes into samadhi. The first and foremost is the muladhara. Mula adhara. Mula means the root. Adhara means the container. Here at the root, in the container, as if the main power is there, and when it rises, it gives a wonderful power that is called yoga shakti, yogic shakti. And why it is not rising? It is there, dormant, latent, but it is there. Why it is not rising? Why we can't activate it? Because our mind is not pure. This is the one point that everywhere in the yoga, in the karma yoga, in the jnana yoga, in the dhyana yoga, everywhere the mind should be purified. How the mind can be purified? Non-attachment or no attraction for the things which are changing, and things that are changing, it's called worldly things. When the mind is attached to that, it is always wavy, so much of different type of waves, thoughts, it is inside the mind, and it is turbulent. It is impure. In that way it is impure. The pure and impure, the difference is only this much. The moment the mind is withdrawn from the worldly things, temporary things, it is pure. So when that mind is pure, immediately that power start rising from Muladhara to Swadhisthana, Manipura, then comes to Anahata. The first 3 petals, the first 3 stages below navel line and below too. And the moment it comes to the heart, Anahata, then comes Vishuddha, then Agga Chakra, in between the 2 eyebrow, then the Sahasrara. Here, Sarva Chinta Parityage Nischinta Yoga Uchyate. Sarva Chinta Parityage. When one can be free from all other thoughts. That is the Shiva. Lord Shiva, he is explaining the yoga, and he is the master of yoga. He is the king of yoga. That Lord Shiva, he is telling, what is yoga? Sarva Chinta Parityage. When all the chintas, all the thoughts, chinta means thoughts, Parityage, when we can give away, that's called yoga. Sarva Chinta Parityage Nischinta. When there is no thoughts, there is no wave, there is naturally the mind is tranquil, Nischinta. Na Chinta, Nischinta. There is no thought, so it is tranquil. Then that is called Yoga Uchyate. Now the mind, we have to give some thought to the mind, some activity to the mind. It is always active. We cannot simply say or try to make it totally vacant. It is not possible. So we have to give some idea. What is mind? It's the thoughts. And what are the thoughts? All attached with the things that is worldly. Now suppose we have to stop that thought, what we have to do, what we can do, we have to give, we have to supply good thoughts. When we are supplying the good thoughts, the thoughts of God, then slowly, slowly the worldly thoughts, which is the turbulent, that goes away. So that is that we try and we know. When we are trying these things, we know that it happens like this way. So this is the way we should try to do. Bhagavan Shiva said like that, and Uttara Gita, it says, you have to make your mind just like the sky. It is so broad, so vast. Akasham manasam kritva. You have to think that it is not a small boundary of this mind. It is bigger, 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 and all pervading. It's covering the everything. Akasham manasam kritva manakritva niraspadam. And then that mind, the thought waves totally stopped. Nothing is there. When there is no clouds also, in that condition, the whole sky, if we can imagine, nishchalam tat bijaniyat, then you must know that is called steady mind. Again and again, everywhere, in different slokas, different ways, in different languages, they are asking us to still the mind. The mind should be free from all thoughts. Sri Ramakrishna is giving the suggestion. How we can do that? Go on taking the name of God. If you are taking the name of God, repeating the name of God, trying to meditate on the image of God, then slowly other thoughts are stopped. Then remain only one thought. That is the thought of God and His name. So from so many millions of thought waves, now we have come to one thought. And now merge in that one thought. I am thinking of God. The I is there. And the I is thinking of God. The two existence, it becomes one now. I am God. When it becomes I am God, in that condition, samadhistasya lakshanam. What is the lakshana? What is the symbol of the samadhi? One. And there is no thought. Sometimes some people, as because there is a beautiful places here in Chicago by the lake shore is there, no sound, no vibration, we can go and sit over there, and then slowly, slowly we will try to expand our mind like that huge, vast water body. And then again rising up to the sky and expanding that mind in that way. And let us see what happens. When you can come back after 2-3 minutes, at least if we can concentrate for few seconds, then we will understand what is the joy of oneness. All suffering because of the different thoughts, and the peace can be achieved only by developing one thought. That is what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is indicating. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Then comes the heart, Anahata, then throat, the Vishuddha, then in between the eyebrow, Agga Chakra, then Sahasrara. On the center, exactly on the center of the head, Sahasrara. Sahasra means 1,000. 1,000 means Sahasra. Petals, 1,000 petals of the flower. We need not to count 1 or 2, 3, 4 like that, but 1,000. There's a lot many numbers of petals are there if you are thinking. Over that, our Guru is sitting, the preceptor is sitting, and the Guru is the most holy person to me. So I am placing Guru on the top of my head. And when I am thinking him, it is not the head, it is the flower. It is not the body, it is the stem of that flower. And over that I am thinking my Guru is sitting, I am going near him, touching his feet, getting the blessings, and slowly I am also becoming purified. After a man has attained the samadhi, all his actions drop away. Now problem comes from where? Action. Action produces reaction. There is something, some action must be there. Something is happening, that means some action was there. After the action, reaction. So when the samadhi is there, when a man attains the samadhi, no action. When there is no action, no activity, no result. When there is no result, the mind is tranquil. All devotional activities such as worship, japa and all the like, as well as the worldly duties, ceases to exist for such person. That person need not to do anything. He need not to do japa or meditation or go to the temple or worship or worldly duties, whatever he was having, nothing he need not to do. But just before that, some people will be very happy not to do that. And some people are not trying not to do that, but physically they are not doing, mentally they are doing. Mentally they are going on thinking so many things, that is also action. So sometimes we think that when we are free from action, that means physically we are not doing anything, so there is no result. No, we are thinking. We are thinking of some person, some place, something, and naturally that reaction is also coming. So this is the reason Bhagavan says like this. Why? A person after attending the samadhi, why he need not to work? Because religion is being and becoming. Who will do the work? The person, the human being. For what? God realization. Now that he has already realized the God, what he is going to do? When we go to a pilgrimage center, maybe a temple, before going to temple, we call our friends, and then we vote in some car or anything, some vehicle, then we drive, we go, we chat about that. We reach over there. When we enter the temple and sit before the image, then we don't move. Everybody sits over there and close their eyes and try to meditate and pray silently. So that means when we reach to the destination, when we receive the samadhi, get the samadhi, when we can tranquil our full mind, then what happens? We transform ourselves to that particular object we were meditating on. So this is the before reaching so many activities, after reaching and realizing no activities. That is what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, and then he is pointing out to the devotees of Brahma devotees. But the manifestation of the divine power are different in different beings. That is also we have to keep in mind. Manifestation are different, categories are different. There are different scales of realizations are there. All people, many people, they are trying to realize God in their own way. But when they are realizing, according to their capacity they are realizing. Not that all can achieve all power, no. All knowledge, no. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna is telling, manifestation of the divine power are different in different beings. Ordinary souls are afraid, but the others, like the Narada, they are not afraid. Then he is telling to a devotee of the Brahma Samaj, can you tell me why you dwell so much on the powers and glories of God? So this is a wonderful question. Whenever we go to any religion, we'll be always seeing that the prayer means, oh God, you are so glorious, so glorious, so glorious, like that. Full of, you are so compassionate and you are full of love, and this way we will be praising. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, why do you do like that? As because you are away from God. When you are near God, with God, you needn't to do all those things because He is so near and dear. Why should you have to go on praising again and again? And he is telling that, I asked the same thing to Keshav Sen. Why do you so often say such things as, O God, what beautiful flowers thou hast made. O God, thou hast created the heavens, the star, the ocean, and so on. Those who love splendor themselves are fond of dwelling on God's splendor. So this is the hint that he is giving. Now we love that all these things, and that is the reason we decorate all this. Now the temple, the church, they will be constructing in such a big way, then there will be all golds here and there. One person was so eager to tell me that look at this is the whole carving that you see standing just from one stone. And look at these, the whole pillar from one stone. You know where from the stone came? I told, now the question is whether in this temple everywhere only stone, there is no God. Everywhere he was going on praising about the stone and the carving and the decoration, and you know the chandelier, you know how much it cost. There's a mosque, and it is a very, very rich mosque, so many chandeliers, and the description of the chandeliers, where from they brought, how they hang, what is the weight, how many lamps are burning inside, where it is? In a house of God. But where is the God? That you have to find out. That do not know. Why we are doing this, decorating so much? Because we love those things. That is the reason. Okay, of course, it should be neat and clean. All care should be taken so that so many different type of people are coming, so they feel comfortable, and their security, all those things should be taken care of. But why so much of decoration? It is not necessary. Why we do? Sri Ramakrishna is giving the answer. Because we love to do those things. We love to get and have those things. So in the name of God also we are doing those things. It is not necessary at all. So why do you do that? Those who love splendor themselves are fond of dwelling so. Once a thief stole the jewels from the image in the temple of Radha Kanta, that is in the Dakshinesha. Mathur Babu entered the temple and said to the deity, Mathur Babu is the Jamindar, the landlord. He got the information, he came and he was telling, what a shame, oh God, you couldn't save your own ornaments, jewelries. Now Sri Ramakrishna was standing there. Immediately, Sri Ramakrishna is not a person to say, oh, because my landlord and he is the owner, he is speaking, he is not going to spare. Immediately I said, Mathur, does he who has Lakshmi for his handmaid and attendant ever lack any splendor? Those jewels may be precious to you, but God, they are no better than lumps of clay. That is the idea. When one is progressing towards God, we have to have this clear idea. That is why the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is so important. One gentleman was telling, I don't know anything about Hindu religion, but suddenly I got a book, there is a gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. I am reading it and I can't stop reading. Almost every day I read the same pages and I get new meaning. So because of this, When a person is really eager to know about God, they get meaning out of this. And some people, they don't get anything, any idea, because there's no stories. But if you read some stories, this happened, then he walked on the water, then he saved, then we are all thrilled. Why? Because of our mind, we wanted to see all the miracles in God. But those who really want to get the knowledge, they don't like all those things. It is easy for God. Everything is possible for God. What is there? He is creating. He can also destroy. And because He can destroy, He can save also. Nothing is impossible for Him. Everything is possible. But I love Him only. And the child of a king, the prince, he don't care whether his father is a king or not. He doesn't bother whether father is having this much of property or not. He is only caring about the father. And he is not all the time going and praising the father as other ministers and other people are doing. To him, the king is a father. Relation, only love. That is what Swami Ramakrishna is hinting at. You need not to do all those things if you love God. When you love God, then we need not to do all this. Then he is singing, dive deep in the sweetness of God's bliss. So this is the very, very important. Dub 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 rup sagore amar mon. That is the Bengali song. Dive deep into the sweetness of God's bliss. What need have we of His infinite creation and unlimited glory? We are going on praising, 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 so many things we go on telling. What is that? If God is my father or my mother, why should I have to go on telling all this? Dive deep, O mind, dive deep in the ocean of God's beauty. If you descend to the utmost depths, there you will find the gem of love. When you go down really, then we come out with all the gems. What are those gems? The love for God. The moment we get God, realize God, what happens? We get everything. That is the reason. One person, he was very clever. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. He was going on praying to God, praying to God. I don't know, need anything. Oh God, please come, please come. But when God came and told, what do you want? He said, no, nothing from you. Only one or two things. Let me eat with my grandson from a golden plate. From the gold made plate, that means I will be rich. And I am going to eat from the same plate with my grandson, that means I am going to live for a long time. So he was very clever. He put his prayer in such a way, even the God is perhaps scratching his head. What to do? So this type of things won't give us God realization. So to dive deep, Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And also he is continuing, it is also true that after the vision of God, the devotee desires to witness his Leela. This is another option. When a devotee is not a Jnani, he is not a yogi, he is a devotee. So the word that he is using, a devotee means he only wants to see the play of God, because all these things that he sees nothing but the play of God, Leela. So that is the reason he is telling the desire to witness the Leela. After the destruction of the Ravana at Rama's hand, Nikosha, Ravan's mother, began to run away for fear of her life. This is the story Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Lakshman said to Rama, brother, please explain this strange thing to me. This Nikosha is an old woman who has suffered a great deal from the loss of her many sons. And yet she is so afraid to afraid of losing her own life, that she is taking to her heels? Then Rama bade her come near, gave her assurance of safety, and asked her why she was running away. Nikasha answered, O Rama, I am able to witness all this Leela of yours because I am still alive. I want to live longer so that I may see the many more things you will do on this earth. So this is the love for God. They want to see everything, how the God's manifesting. Some of the devotees, they will be visiting to our different centers, Ramakrishna Mission centers. They are well read, they know how the Ramakrishna Mission started with only these 12 young people, young men, and then they were not having the food, they were renting a hosted house with 8 rupees per month rent. The house dilapidated. Even then they had to pay 8 rupees in those days. And there was no food, only one dhoti was there, cloth was there. All were in a loin cloth, they used to live inside. And if anyone was supposed to go outside for some work, only that dhoti he used to wear and go out. That was the condition. Baranagar days, whenever the devotees and the Swamis they say Baranagar days, but days of austerity, tremendous austerity. And they are all educated people. All of them, they belong from Calcutta and nearby areas. Their parents were very rich people, most of them. Even then, they were doing like that. And from there now, Ramakrishna Mission everywhere. Wherever you go, everywhere the Ramakrishna Mission. And many places, the devotees now, the young, new devotees, they do not know. And they will say, is there any AC room available in your guest house? Before going to booking for that, they will be asking for AC rooms and whether we have to sit on the floor to eat or we can get the table and chair. We are like this, the life is changing. Everywhere the Ramakrishna Mission, wherever you go. How it is? The person who could never speak a single English sentence, only a few things, thank you, like those words he used to say, Sri Ramakrishna. Now his ashramas are all over the world. Now very educated, learned people are joining as a brahmachari, monk. This is the Leela. This is the divine Leela. Who is helping the Ramakrishna Mission? No government backing. And no rich people, the business organizations or the corporate build things. No, nothing. Only the ordinary people, they are sending some little bit of money. With that, it's spreading like the wildfire. So many places. If you go and see the library of the Calcutta Golpark Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, it's worth seeing. Collection of books. So many scholars are living over there and doing research on different subjects. So these are the things that is happening. Is it not Leela really? This is the miracle. How things are taking shape. Everything is going on and on. People do not understand. People, they think we are doing, I am doing, he is doing. No, nobody. It is just because the God has picked up some of the people, that he will do or she will do, they will do, they are blessed. Otherwise, anyone can come and do it. So this way, Bhagavan is telling, you see, this is the Leela. I like to see you. How can I live unless I see pure soul devotee? Now again he is coming back. The God loves those who are pure soul. And he is telling to Shivanath, a devotee of the Brahma Samaj. To him he is telling, I like to see you. How can I live unless I see pure soul devotees? That's why I always say to our devotees, come to this temple. when nobody is there, particularly in the morning, noon time. In America and particularly in our places, there every time you come, it is all quiet, nobody is there. Only in the Saturday, Sunday, some visitors are coming. Sit over here, look at Thakur. Do you really love me? Ask Thakur. If you are loving me, why can't I come? I am not getting the call from you. That means I am not pure. Make me pure. Can I really try to become pure? It is impossible. Because so much of desire within the mind. But if you like bhikshane mohojai, just a glance of your eye. If you look at me, glance at me, immediately all my mohas, all my desires, all my foolish ideas, everything will go away. I'll be totally pure, ready to receive your grace. Why don't you make me like that? So many people are getting their blessings. Why not me? If you can come and talk to him, you'll see, you'll listen to it because he has promised. So that is called devotee, complete faith and love. Complete faith and love. So say, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, how can I live unless I see pure soul devotees? The God also waiting to see the pure soul devotees, the devotees who really love him, like him. So God is waiting over there. Ore tora ke kothay achish I. In Bengali, he used to give a call. Oh my children, where you are, come to me. Just like a beloved father, he used to give that call. And if we can listen to that, come and sit before him, talk to him. You need not to go on taking the holy name, just talk to him. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind. Then the devotee, Brahma devotee, he is asking another question. Sir, do you believe in the reincarnation of soul? Do you believe in the reincarnation of the soul? He is asking, the Brahma devotee. Sri Ramakrishna is answering, yes. They say, he is not telling, I am telling. They say, there is something like that. How can we understand the ways of God through our small intellect? There was one university I went, one young man, he was going on putting questions after questions. He was listening again, he was, why not this, why not that, it was going on. There is no complete answer. You have to realize, otherwise how can you understand that? If you don't understand, then it is impossible for anyone to make you understand. So you will understand when you realize it yourself, then only, otherwise how? So this way, Sri Ramakrishna never wanted to spend some time unnecessarily talking with this, answering this question. He said, yes, they say there is something like that. How can we understand the ways of God through our small intellects? Many people spoken about the reincarnation. Therefore, I cannot disbelieve it. Many people spoke about the reincarnation. And in the Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna, he was also doubting when the Krishna was telling, in that my first life I told these and these and these. Oh, how come? You are just of my age, and now you are talking that you gave the lecture and the instruction of the yoga to him. How it is possible? Then Krishna also said, again and again, oh Arjuna, both of us are taking birth. You do not remember, but I do. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is telling in a very simple way. So many people say that, so how can I disbelieve it? Then about the Bhishma also he told, and then finally he is telling, it is about the Master Mahasaya is describing about 8:30, when the evening worship began in the prayer hall. Soon the moon rose in the autumn sky and flooded the trees and creepers of the garden with its light. After prayer, devotees began to sing. The place echoed and re-echoed with the God's holy name. When the music had stopped, Sri Ramakrishna prostrated himself on the ground and making salutations to the Divine Mother again and again said, Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. Again the hint he is giving. Bhagavat means the knowledge, the book. Bhakta means the student who is studying that book. And Bhagavan means taking that knowledge within himself, the student himself is becoming the teacher. He is becoming the master. Unless and until listening to God, thinking about God, meditating on God, one is not transforming into God, it is of no use. So he is again and again telling these, Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. That means when you have come to God and you are praying to God, try to realize Him and be God. Sri Ramakrishna, accompanied by Rakhal, in the next event he is mentioning, it was Wednesday, November 15, 1882. Sri Ramakrishna was going, and several other devotees, they came to Calcutta in a carriage and called for him, the Master Mahashaya. All of them, they came. They used to go. Sri Ramakrishna had a very wonderful technique. In one place, if he goes on talking, it will be boring. So he used to call all the devotees, then he will be going along with them, chatting, and then he will collect all the devotees together so that they also develop friendship. Devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, they feel like they are relatives to each other. They are friends to each other. Like that, they developed. He came to the aim at the school where he was teaching. And from there, they set for the Maidan. Maidan means the ground, the center place of Calcutta. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to see the Wilson Circus. He was going to circus. See, so many different type of interest. Most of the people, they will be frowning. Oh my God, a religious person going to circus? But he used to go. Why? To observe. And now we will see what is there. As the carriage rolled along the crowded Chitpur road, it is also again, now also it is very crowded, this Chitpur road. His joy was very great. When he saw so many people, he was very happy. Like a little child, he leaned first out of one side of the carriage and then from the other side, talking to himself as if addressing the passers-by. Now, he is mentioning to aim, I find the attention of the people fixed on earthly things. He is observing the people, the passers-by, from both the windows of that carriage. And then he is mentioning, they are all rushing about for the sake of their stomachs. No one is thinking of God. Look at his observation. So when he is going and seeing, he is observing thousands of people, they are there mingling because the marketplace. And here he couldn't find anyone who is thinking of God. Then afterwards they arrived to that place and a cheapest seats were purchased, the tickets for the cheapest seat. You know, in the circus, very costly seat will be in the front row. Cheapest will be on the top, and they have to go. Because the devotees were also not very rich, they had to purchase the cheapest ticket. And Sri Ramakrishna went over there. The devotees should not think that we could not purchase a good ticket for our Thakur, our God. Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling, this is a good place. I can see all the show well from here. He is encouraging them. So they should not feel that they are supposed to, but now they. And I was also going with a person, he was trying to take as good care as it is possible, and it was so hot in the Texas. And when I was thinking to enter into his car, because all American cars are having the heating and cooling system, he declared, Swamiji, one thing I must tell you, I forgot to tell you beforehand, I don't have any air condition in my car. Oh my God! So, I tell you, then the other people to whom we went over there, they were telling, Swamiji, you should not go. Now it is more than 108 Fahrenheit. It's so hot, and it will be very difficult. Then that boy was telling, I will drive it fast, lot of air will come from outside and it will cool down. I told, okay, let us try. What is going to happen? Because he has come from a long way, he wanted, so let me go. Then he was telling, we will go in a canoe. Of course, I went there. And he was telling, Swamiji, do you like to row the boat? I said, bhai, now what is your age? 32, 35. And do you know what is my age? So that also keep under consideration, because that is true. 30 years before, if you had given this type of offer, I would have jumped on this. But now, I have to be very, very careful. Now, of course, everything he took care, he was rowing the boat and all this. I enjoyed, and then he wanted to show me from the top. It was so hot, but I went. I thought, anyway, one thing good that he is doing, forcing me, helping me to reduce my calories. That is also necessary for me. But I enjoyed. So this way, the Thakur is also very happy, and he is expressing a joy in such a way that the people who took him over there, they should not feel, oh, we brought Thakur over here and could not give him proper service. The circus, and here in the circus again, the Sri Ramakrishna, he was pointing out, this is the beauty of a holy person. Wherever they go, whatever they sit, in whatever condition they are, they will go to that one, because Sri Ramakrishna himself is telling, see that compass, all the time, that one hand it will put to the north, always. The holy person's mind is always on God, wherever they go. He went over there, so many shows were going on. The circus rider, an English woman, stood on one foot on the horseback, running horseback. And as the horse passed away under the rings, she jumped through them, always alighting on one foot on the horseback. Tremendous practice. The horse is running and the iron rings are there. The moment the horse is coming under that ring, she is jumping on one leg and again balancing on the running horseback on that leg. Thakur, he saw it and he was telling, did you see that English woman stood on one foot on the horse? And here they have translated English woman, but Thakur said BB, because in BB means a lady. In Hindi they say BB. So Thakur was telling that, did you see that English woman stood on one foot on her horse while it ran like lightning? The horse was running very fast. How difficult a feat that must be. Then he is telling, she must have practiced a long practice. Practice makes a man perfect. The meditation also is a practice. In the beginning, in the middle, in the afterwards, every time we sit, our mind is not tranquil, so many thoughts are crossing, but don't give it. Go on sitting over there, thinking so many things. Again, at least for 1 second, I am thinking of God. Like that, he is telling, one faces the same difficulty leading the life of a householder. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if you succeed in it through the grace of God and as a result of their spiritual practices, but most people fail, then he is telling this, the householder should be careful, because the householder's life is just like that. There are so many obstacles, so many things will be going on, happening. Sometimes it is very good, sometimes it is not. So that time, all these things can be all right for those people who are going on praying to God and depending on them. Otherwise, it is really very difficult. One cannot stop it. Entering the world, they become more and more involved in it. They drown in the worldliness and suffer the agonies of death. A few only, like Janaka, have succeeded through the power of their austerity in leading the spiritual life as householders. Therefore, spiritual practice is extremely necessary Otherwise, one cannot rightly live in the world. So this is a wonderful teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes what happens, we are very good workers. We come and we work in the ashramas, we do so many things, and then afterwards we go away. Sometimes you will see so many people, they are going in the temples. Some are cooking, some are cleaning, some are doing dressing vegetables. So many things they will be doing. Saturday, Sunday they are busy, giving their time, but they are going on talking about the worldly things. The result, I am sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's of no result actually. That's why Sri Ramakrishna, one should attain the spiritual discourses. Why? To know this, to learn this. These are the secrets. And then to apply it again and again. When you go to work, when you are going in a company, and all people are discussing in so many ways, suddenly one should at least raise this. Oh, what happened, in that company of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna? All these people, they were talking like this. Immediately the whole mind comes over there. So that is the reason one should learn. Otherwise, it is of no use. When he was very young, Sri Ramakrishna, he was accompanying the ladies, elderly ladies. They were all going to a nearby village pilgrimage center, Vishalakshmi. And then he found the small little boy of 6 years, he found all the ladies are talking about household things. Then how to say to these elderly ladies that you should not speak like this, think of God, because you are going to a temple, prepare your mind to pray. He fainted over there. Naturally, all their attention came to the little boy. Oh, why, what has happened? And they were going on doing many things. They forgot about the worldly things. And then all their attention came on the Sri Ramakrishna. And who is Sri Ramakrishna? God himself. So when the mind came, he actually helped them to put their mind on God. He drew their mind. That's why he is Krishna. He is drawing, attracting the minds of the people to him. And when they were, then another elderly lady, the moment she uttered the name of God, the boy got up. Afterwards, he said, when you are going to temple, think about God. And prepare your mind to think about God. From the moment you think that I am going to the temple, go on thinking about God. And then, when you are going by a car or by a vehicle, don't talk any other things. Either talk about God or think about God. Then when you reach over there, think about God. So that is the way you get the best result. And the pilgrimage center means to the best result. So that is when someone is going to the Belur Math, if he can think that this is the door from where the Ma Sharada Mani Devi came, and she got down over here, she walked through this road. This is the place where Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Turiyananda, they all used to live and walk, and that way, if they go on remembering all those things, that will help them spiritually. Otherwise, they will be taking snaps, and then the guards are there, they are not allowed to take photographs, so the guard will come and they will be sometimes hiding the guard, they will be taking photographs. All these things go away. When they go away, they are the same old personality as they came. It is of no use for coming to the pilgrimage center. So Sri Ramakrishna, he is guiding us. He is telling that you must prepare your mind for that. And when you are entering into the samsara, the world, it is like this. So get always prepared. So many things may happen, but I should go on remembering God, thinking of God, because the life will pass, so many scenarios we have to see, but I am always with God, whatever comes. So this way, Master got into the carriage with the devotees and went to Balarambo's house. From there, he came over here. The conversation turned into the caste system. This is the problem of the Hindus. Everybody will be criticizing the Hinduism because of the caste system. Sri Ramakrishna said, now, all the solutions are very simple. The caste system cannot be removed by can be removed by one means only, and that is the love of God. The caste system can be removed by one means only, and that is the love of God. The lovers of God do not belong to any caste. The mind, the body, the soul of a man become purified through divine love. When a person is going on taking the name of God, and that's why initiation is so important. When a person has taken initiation, he is thinking about the God, taking the name of God, his mind is becoming pure. When his mind means his thought is becoming pure, his soul and the body is also becoming pure. And in that condition, only one thing comes in his mind, that is love, love for every being, because God has created everything. So obviously it is my beloved, my God, my Lord, He has created. How can I hate? Then the God, what He will think? I cannot do that. So that way, when the thinking is coming, naturally he gets the blessings of God. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling like this. Holy Mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, she used to do in her own way, a very, very subtle way. When she was in Bangalore, in South Indian city, the Bangalore, and we have a very big temple long back, the devotees were there. They invited Ma Sharadamani Devi, and Ramakrishna ji was also there that time. Mother used to stay in a room which is adjacent to the temple. And South India, even now if you go, you will see very, very orthodox people. And they never allowed the Muslim invasion over there. So they are very strict to accept anything new. They protected themselves from the onslaught of the foreign invasions. So they are like that. It is continuing, it is in their psyche now, psychology. And along with that, and the other people, some of the people who can be called the priest, they started putting on different type of system. Caste system came from that. Because Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself is telling, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. I have, according to the aptitude resulting from the disposition of the nature, I have made the social order of four castes. Chatur Varnam, the four castes, Maya Srishtam, God himself is telling, according to their work capacity and quality, never through the birth. But even then, the devotees, particularly, no, I can't say them devotee, call them devotee, they use this thing for their benefit. So utilizing that religious things for their benefit, distorted the whole thing, and they made the division among the devotees. And then they said Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. The moment you make the classes and the divisions, it is easy for weak people to rule. Those who are really strong people, they don't bother, because they know that the personality, everybody will be under their umbrella. But when they are weak, they always divide and rule. So these people did like that. Sri Ramakrishna, when the conversation going on, he said the caste system can be removed to the love. Mother, how she behaved like that. This Bangalore, being in the south, they were very, very orthodox type of people. If you are not in the upper caste, that means the Brahmana and the what is called Kshatriya, you cannot enter into the temple. But Mother observed, she used to sit, all people are sitting and taking her blessings. She observed a humble man never into the temple. he was always standing outside the temple and trying to offer his pranam to mother from so distance. The mother inquired. Then the devotees told mother, we cannot ask him to come inside because he is a low caste person. If he entered into the temple, all these people that you see, mainly the Brahmins, they will never come. So that is the reason we won't be able to call him. Mother didn't answer. After 1 or 2 days, suddenly he said, I have some prasad to be distributed among the devotees. My son standing over there, will you please come inside and help me to distribute? Look at it. That person who is not supposed to enter inside the temple, mother addressed that particular person and called, son, will you please enter and help me to distribute this prasad among these? All people were jubilant to get the prasad. They forgot that he is untouchable. And they forgot that he is entering into the temple, because mother room was adjacent to the temple and you have to cross the temple, go inside the temple, then only you can enter into the mother's room. And the prasad was there. This man, he was so happy, he forgot that he is not supposed to enter into the temple, and he brought and he started distributing. And the people, Brahmins, they also forgot, but he is an untouchable person, he is distributing, and they also happily accepted the prasad. So this way, mother proved that through the love of God, this can be removed. This caste system, unless and until the caste system is not removed, as long as people are not understanding it, as long people are not questioning those people who are imposing these, why you are asking me not to enter into the temple? What speciality you are having? Tell me. Then I won't enter. Tell me. This is a social place. Anyone can come. Why you are not allowing me to go? Just because you have a title? Just because you born in a Brahmin family? No, I also have read Gita. I also know the Upanishad. I also worship God. I also love God. All the qualities that you are having, the same quality I am also having. How come that you are here? It's not your personal property again. So this type of question, when it will come and slowly people will understand, it will come, because the more and more the education will spread, people will understand this, they will remove this, then the real bright Hinduism, the people will understand wonderful Hinduism. Then Sthapakaya cha dharmasya, the gods, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has come in the human form as Sri Ramakrishna to establish religion, and these are the things that you have to remove from our society so that the original religion we can understand. Speaking of the householders tangled in worldliness, the master is telling they can come out, but mostly they are not understanding this. We will read this portion and discuss in our next class. Let us offer our pranam to Thakur. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. The coming Sunday, the 17th, we will observe this Krishna Janmashtami in the morning from 11 to 12 as we usually do. There will be a little puja, some small way we will do the puja, and at the same time we will be discussing about the Lord Krishna, his greatness and his contribution. Please come and tell your friends and devotee families also to come. That the prasad will be there after the discussion, and the puja we will go down and have the prasad. You are all welcome.